Hello, I'm a technician with Maximum Weather Instruments. Today I'll be explaining how to troubleshoot a Maximum Maestro wind speed and direction instrument. Before beginning any troubleshooting on the interior indicator, it is always advisable to check the connections up on the rooftop if possible. Over 15 to 20 years, it is possible that those terminals can corrode when exposed to the elements, and the majority of the failures happen at the contact points at the sensors. To test the gauge, you need a few basic tools. You would need a standard screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, along with a multimeter. We're going to begin by testing the wind speed portion of the Maestro. To test the wind speed on the Maestro, you want to start by removing the instrument from the wall. You remove the instrument by removing 3 screws that hold up the instrument to the mounting surface. Once the instrument is removed, you want to lay it down on a soft surface so not to scratch the brass finish of the casing. You want to locate the terminals marked generator no polarity. They are on the right side of the back plate of the Maestro. There is no polarity and it's a low voltage, so there is no risk of shock. You want to remove the wires by loosening the 440 nuts and removing the wire from the back. You want to set your multimeter to a low AC volt range. In this case, the meter is set at 20 volts AC. The output of the rooftop sensor is an AC voltage generator, so you do want an AC voltage setting. You would attach the meter to the wire coming down from the rooftop sensor and observe the voltage on the display. The voltage in this case is measuring 0.56 to 0.58 volts AC, which is an indication of approximately an 18 to 20 mile an hour wind. If it was an invalid reading, you would either see a 0 or you'd see some mild fluctuation on the meter. Any one of those displays would mean that you'd have a faulty generator up in your rooftop. A valid reading would indicate that the problem, if there was a problem in this case, it would be in the gauge. To test the wind direction portion of the Maestro, you'd want to begin by unplugging the AC power adapter. You'd unplug the AC power adapter to minimize the risk of adapter failure. But once the adapter is removed, you'd want to then remove the wires from the back plate. The wires on the left side marked AC adapter no polarity are the AC power adapter wires. The 5 wires on the terminal strip are the rooftop wires. You'd loosen the 440 nuts with a 1/4-inch nut driver and remove the wire. This wire is very similar to the wind speed wire, so it is always a good idea to mark the AC power adapter wire so not to confuse upon reinstallation. A piece of tape, a string will all suffice. Once the adapter is removed, you then want to remove the 5 wires from the rooftop sensor. You would loosen the screws with a standard screwdriver and simply remove the wires. As you can see, the back plate is labeled 1 through 5, and there's also labeling on the cable itself, 1 through 5. If these labels have been removed or are not legible, again you'd want to mark the wires for reinstallation. You start by testing the AC power adapter. A valid adapter should yield a 11.5 to 18 volt reading on the meter. So I have it set once again at the 20 volt range, and I plug the adapter back in. In this case, I get about a 14.5 AC voltage reading. It is an AC voltage adapter, so beware to keep the multimeter on AC voltage. Once you verify the adapter is good, I'll unplug it once again and reinstall it on the gauge. In order to test the wind direction length, you do need power applied to the indicator. To reconnect, we have basically the reverse of the removal, where you loosen and connect the 2 wires from the AC adapter to the AC adapter no polarity side of the gauge. Once attached, You may plug the adapter back in. You then want to obtain a paper clip and stretch it out, or a bare piece of wire. You would connect the paper clip or wire to the middle terminal, the number 3 terminal marked P for power. The other end of the wire you'd want to connect to the terminal number 1. Once this is connected and power applied, it should yield a north and a northeast display on the Maestro. That indicates that both of those lights are working. You then want to disconnect the wire connected to 1 and connect it to 2. This should yield an east-southeast display on the Maestro. You can verify that the LEDs are indeed lighting. You would then remove the number 2 wire, again leaving number 3 power connected, and connect it to terminal number 4, yielding you the south-southwest displays on the Maestro. And finally, remove from 4 and test to 5 for a west-northwest display on the Maestro. Verifying that all of the LEDs on the Maestro are working, you can deduct that the problem would be in the rooftop cable or possibly the wind direction sensor on the rooftop. Had any one of those lights not lit up during the testing, then you can deduct that the problem is in the Maestro indicator, and returning to our company for service would be advisable. Once testing is complete and you are satisfied with the results, you can reinstall the instrument. You do not need to unplug the AC adapter at this point. It's plugged in. Again, being low voltage, there's no risk for shock. You want to reattach the wind speed portion on the right hand side of the instrument. There is no polarity, so you do not need to worry about connecting the wrong wire to the wrong terminal. And then you want to reconnect the wind direction wire, locating wire number 1, so you can connect to terminal number 1, and then it isn't being a flat cable, it would just go in order. If service is required in the instrument and you do need to send it back to our company, you may send the instrument back to Maximum Incorporated, 30 Samuel Barnett Boulevard, New Bedford, Massachusetts, 02745. If you'd like to speak with one of our technicians, you may call our phone number at 508-995-2200, or feel free to visit our website at www.maximum-inc.com.